All right. I feel like we played to our standard today, right? And really still even that, tale of two halves. Offense really effective all day, was able to score on every drive, eliminate some of the negatives. Obviously penalties were down. Thought defense was the tale of two halves a little bit when it came to third down, but part of that was winning first and second down. They were able to run the ball effectively and had some QB scrambles early, and we were able to kind of close that out in the second half. So really proud of our guys' performance, right? I think it shows what we're capable of doing, right, and owning our standard.
We'll start on the right with Eric.
Felt like a really clean game for you guys. I think one penalty, points on every drive. Walk us through what you saw offensively.
Yeah, offensively, definitely a clean game. Thought they did what we thought they would do, and I thought our coaches had a really good plan for that. We're able to take advantage of that plan.
Right here on the left, Ryan.
Dan, what can you say about the opportunities Dylan was able to have in space, use his legs a little bit more in this game?
Yeah, I think when guys are covered downfield, that's the threat of a guy like Dylan Gabriel, and able to be not the kind of guy that forces things, but take what they give you. And when they did, he was able to utilize his legs and take advantage of it.
Was that the intent when this team try to use some more?
The intent was to take what they give us.
Right next one, James.
What do you attribute the offense's consistency as a whole? You said the offensive lineup stay consistent. How much was that a part of it?
I think all of it played a part. I think the biggest thing is you saw in this game where we had three penalties. Right, I think that's the biggest difference when we don't put ourselves in a negative hole to start, especially coming into an environment where it's a road game. I think that our guys' focus was really cranked up as far as staying in a rhythm, and that really paid off. When we weren't playing for 2nd and 12 and we're playing for 2nd and 4, right? You can play a game the clean way.
Back right, Matt.
Second half, defense, 2 straight 3 and outs. What were the halftime adjustments just to make the play you guys had?
Yeah, we want to make sure we had a hat for the quarterback in some of the scramble game. They'd hurt us on a couple screens, right? Try to have a game plan to be able to manage the screen game that they've been able to hurt us on. And then ultimately stopping the run on 1st and 2nd down to where those third downs weren't third and manageable, right? Making them third or longer. I thought our defense did a good job of that.
Back left, Eric.
I think the most important part, I think you talked about this week, is just being able to finish. I know the last time you guys played in Research, that was kind of an issue. I know that
Not
you
kind
think
of.
about
It was an issue.
frequently. So just to be able to come back and finish the way that you did, how important was that moving forward into your bye week and then into a Big Ten season?
Yeah, I think, ultimately we want to walk away from this field saying we're the tougher team, the more physical team. I think that showed up in the second half, with our ability to run the ball, stop them, talk about finishing. Right, we didn't want to stop until, zeros were on that clock.
Back right, Rick.
Coach, 7 straight scoring drives, no punts, obviously only 1 third down that was not converted. Was this as close to a perfection of execution of the offense that you've seen here at Oregon?
We can be better. Maybe, but we can be better.
Front right, Al.
You said after the Idaho game that you were disappointed in how you guys established the run in that game. How do you feel? Obviously 7.5 yards a carry. Did it feel better today? Does it feel like it's improved over the last 2 weeks?
Felt better, yeah, felt better.
What specifically is better about it?
Well, again, we weren't battling negative plays, right? So when you're able to stay on schedule, I think we can be really dynamic. I thought Will called an unbelievable game. I thought the offensive staff made some great adjustments. I thought our players were poised and focused on the next play. They weren't worried about anybody else in that stadium besides the guys on that sideline.
Eric on the right.
What did Poncho do this week to kind of earn the starting spot? And then I know you're going to have to watch film, but just early impressions of how he performed.
Yeah, early impressions good, but just consistency. Shows some consistency. Obviously, we've changed up the lineups there at times, and we're trying to find the right group that we can go to battle with. I think we have some more than just some capable players of playing, but we were able to move them up front tonight, and because of that, we were able to have some success.
Back middle, Brady.
Going into the half, Oregon State was dominating in time of possession, but then it evened out towards the end. Was that something you talked about at all at the half, or was that not a focus?
Really, more than anything, talk about getting stops on third down, right? And to equate to stops on third down, it meant really winning 1st and 2nd down defensively, right? They were able to have some sustained drives with some success. We avoided the explosive plays on defense. I think that if you want to talk about a big mark for us defensively, the last few weeks we've had some explosive plays given up. We didn't see that today. But we were able to win 1st and 2nd, which gave us the opportunity to win 3rd.
Front left, Ryan.
What can you say about Bryce Betcher's performance and just playing with his hair on fire like he did?
No, I love Bryce Betcher. I wish I had a million Bryce Betchers. I mean, this guy, the way he works, what you guys see in the game is what I see every single day in practice, right? And sometimes he hits one of our own players. I got to make him run around the field goal post, right? But it's good when we're playing another team because you got that guy on your side.
Back row in blue shirt.
How important is it to you guys to perform this well in your guys' first away game?
I think it's important for us to perform to our standard every game, right? And obviously this was a great opportunity. I love the fact that we get to go in a hostile environment and perform this way. But that's our standard. That's our expectation.
Here on the right, white shirt.
Does it make sense for you guys to come back here in 2 years?
I'd love to keep this rivalry alive. Personally, I think it's great for the state of Oregon. I think it's great for both schools. That's not something we want to see go away.
Front left, James.
You had 10 plays and 20-plus yards today, and you only had 6 the first 2 weeks, and none of them were runs. What was it about today, and did you expect that kind of performance against what you saw on tape against their defense?
Yeah, I thought we had an opportunity for some explosives. I thought our offensive staff did a great job of scheming up some plays that were going to be effective, right? If they wanted to play light boxes, we were going to be able to create some explosive runs. If they wanted to load the box up, then we were able to take advantage of some passes on the perimeter.
Right here in the middle, green hoodie.
How was it seeing Tyshim Johnson block that field goal kick at the very beginning, and how did that affect the team for the rest of the game?
Yeah, great momentum setter, right? They were obviously moving the ball in that first drive, and we were trying to settle in a little bit on defense, but seeing a missed kick there early, I think gave our team some life.
Second row left, Bill.
Dan, you're talking about playing to your standard finally those first 2 games. A lot of people wondered what that standard for this team was, just based on the product on the field. What kind of message do you think that this performance sends?
To who? We don't care about the world.
You don't care, but you see it where, obviously the rankings change every year. Every week.
It takes care of itself if you do your job, right? And obviously we could be better. And what I'm more impressed with or proud of is that our guys able to go figure out what we need to improve in doing that, right? And I thought that showed up this week more than anything. We could care less about what everybody else thinks. As long as we continue to do our job, the rest takes care of itself.
Back right, Gary.
Coach Riley McCoy had a long run early. His passes he contained and pretty much nothing wrong. What were your thoughts on his performance?
Yeah, I think they run hard. I mean, he is a dynamic player, and we said early on we wouldn't be able to control him with with our front. I think there was a couple times we rushed past the level of the quarterback, right, and he was able to create some explosive plays. Happened down there in the red area as well. Where we knew he had legs and he was effective, we wanted to have a hat available, and when we didn't, we wanted to do a great job with a rush. At times they took advantage of that because we didn't.
Back right, Brett.
Coach, honestly, the first couple of weeks, some close games, and the team had to deal with a little bit of adversity. How are you dealing with that adversity kind of help you guys heading into this weekend and help the performance on the field?
Well, I think more than anything, it let us know that we got room to improve, right? And the great news is we still do, right? We still got room to improve. We're gonna be able to go watch this tape, and we're gonna find some things that we can do better. And as long as we continue to do that and grow every week, we got a chance to be good.
Back right, Matt.
Did you see anything different in practice this week than the previous 2 weeks? Just more attention to detail or execution for your play?
Yeah, usually what shows up in practice is what shows up in the games. I would say that we were able to have more attention to detail. I don't think the 1-2 is any different. I think the focus, right? The focus of execution was probably a little bit different this week. And I think our guys realized it's not just going to happen on accident. You have to practice it to make it happen.
Front right, Al.
What Jay Lamar showed today, what he can do with when the ball's in his hands. What has he done in practice to earn that third running back opportunity and take advantage of the touches when he gets them?
Yeah, James, one of the most trustworthy players we have on the field, right? If he has a job, he owns that assignment, right? He does an unbelievable job of being humble, waiting for his opportunity when it comes. He takes advantage of it. I think that's shown up in the kicking game for us. I think that's shown up today, on a big play down the sideline that was huge. James is a guy that brings it every single day and is really consistent.
Front left, James.
When you've got the 5 week coming up, Dan, what are some of those things that you already know you want to address, whether it's the O-line getting healthier, possibly looking at a lineup change, or some things defensively? What are those things you already know you still have to get short of?
Yeah, first thing we'll do is to kind of analyze ourselves, right? We'll do a self-scout on what we've done well and what we haven't done well. How can we enhance, ourselves within the week? A lot of it's going to be about Oregon, not really about any other team. Areas where we've created negatives, how can we eliminate those? Areas where we've given up explosive plays, how can we eliminate those? And then a lot of good work against each other, right? And continue to develop our roster, right? Because it's important that everybody on our roster is able to continue to grow and get better.
Front right, Eric.
How important was that first offensive drive? Obviously, Dalen stays perfect, but just to move it down the field, does that build some confidence, you think?
Yeah, I think it was great. I mean, that's what you hope to see every time we start. We talked about our openers being plays that we had a lot of confidence in. Again, I think Will called a great game, and knowing what we thought we were going to see, had some great checks built in based on looks that they had given. And we were able to take advantage of those.
Back right, Brett.
What are your thoughts on the early season bye? You feel like it's a good timing for this team right now before Big Ten play? How do you feel about heading into this week off?
We don't control the schedule, so we just ride with it. But we'll use it. We'll take advantage of it and use it as an opportunity to get better.
Back left, Aaron.
You talk about playing Oregon football. Do you feel like today's performance is closer to what you would describe as Oregon performance?
Yeah, certainly closer in my mind.
Right here on the right, white shirt.
Yeah. The two programs have very different off seasons, just in rebuilding rosters and the coaching change too to deal with. How would you describe just sort of the talent gap right now between Oregon and Oregon State?
I think we have, more talent right now than they do. That being said, I know how much that game means to them and how much it means to us. But I'm really focused on our team, right, and what we have to do to continue to get better.
Right here in the middle, please.
Seeing what Anthony Hankerson and Jim Griffin did for the first 2 weeks, how was it seeing you stop that run pretty effectively, especially in the second half?
Yeah, I think it was a great challenge for us, right? And we know for us to be the defense that we want to be, we have to be able to stop the run, right? And again, I think that showed up in the second half. Let us get on schedule and be able to play ball.
On the right, Tyson.
Back in the day with this game, they used to have a tradition of the coaches would stop in Monroe over at the Long Branch. Just, it was part of Oregon history. Obviously, things have changed now. Is there anything that you've brought that's sort of tradition-like? What are you guys going to be doing after this?
Breaking down our film and watching it. But I'll be honest, on our drive up, I was thinking about that. Coach Brooks has told me about that in the past, about the opportunity to stop and have a cold frosty, right? I imagine somewhere tonight I'll have one, right? But I'll be watching film. It probably won't be there.